Today on the Happy House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff, it is a beautiful day for a picnic. Peggy and I are going to share our picnic secrets with you. And we're back with Rana, and she is teaching me how to make some oversized yard games on a budget. And we are in the backyard. It's beautiful and the perfect day to try some science. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Happy. I learned early on things are much easier with a little help. I also have a few tricks of my own to share. It's go time, people. Welcome to the Happy House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff. I'm with my friend Peggy today, and we are talking picnics.
Yeah.
So one thing about picnics that I think people forget about is you can just keep it easy, and a lot of times I like to have a lunchtime picnic either with like a coworker or just meet a friend or even my husband, and then I just pack this bag. This is an oversized cooler bag, and I keep it stocked with some paper plates.
Oh, you keep the stuff in there all the time.
Yep, napkins, and then I've got the cutlery in here. So all I have to do is throw in whatever it is we're going to eat that day, and it's just ready to go.
Mine would have like some refuse from last time in the bottom.
You don't clean out your cooler bag, girl.
Okay, I will.
But one thing that I have done is actually, again, this is my bigger picnic basket, but buy supplies. So I bought these very inexpensive containers at my grocery store.
Because they're all the same size, they stack really nicely.
They stack really nicely, and same with like these, you can get like bamboo cutlery, which you can reuse again and again, bamboo plates. So all of these things can then just be in the picnic basket, because I think that's a lot of times what takes the time is sort of gathering all the supplies.
Yep.
So these are some basic tips, but now we're gonna get into kind of bringing things up a notch.
A little more fun.
Let's set the table.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about what we did here, because we both contributed to making this. I, again, am more of the sort of essentials person, but you make everything look beautiful. It seems kind of fancy.
Well, in a fancy and like a casual, like I had it in a pile of stuff, you know, down in my basement, an old tablecloth that really I don't use up in my dining area anymore. I grabbed a couple of candlesticks that, you know, have maybe seen their day and have a little wax on there from some fun parties.
These have been loved for sure.
Yes, for sure.
I love them though. The patina is fantastic.
And then I had some flowers in another arrangement, and I just grabbed a few and stuck them in a really cute mason jar.
So one thing I like to do is instead of bringing paper napkins, picnics are oftentimes messy because just spills happen and things. So I just like to use flour sack towels as napkins.
Love those.
And then after the picnic, and this is my tip for my silverware as well, I like to use real silverware. I like to use these flour sack napkins. Ziploc bags work wonders for just bringing things home. So after you're done, all the dirty silverware just goes in here, and then you can put it in your dishwasher right when you get home. So it's easy breezy. Another thing people use a lot of at picnics is paper plates. Putting a charger or just a more sturdy plastic plate underneath then allows you to cut and use your fork. But then these can be thrown away before you leave the picnic. And then I keep this little jar of basically party picks, I think they call them. And they're great for just having around. So if you're snacking before your actual picnic meal, people can use
or
these.
salami or olives, whatever,
Yep. Another thing I like to do on picnics is bring a drink I wouldn't normally buy for the house. This is like a sparkling orange drink, which is delicious. Yeah. Also, the color matches. It's good. It's all about making the table look great, right?
Yeah.
We're going to talk food now.
Okay.
Are you ready?
That's your area. I can't wait.
These are individual sort of veggie dips. So there's red pepper, celery, and carrots in here, and I simply put a little bit of dressing in the bottom, so they are ready to go.
And if we were to want to invite kids, they would love that.
Yeah, it's a really easy way to do things. I love caprese salad. And you can just basically use the food skewers or the toothpicks.
That is beautiful.
And make a beautiful little mini caprese. So again, these are just right for people to take and snack on before. And all I did was skewer them. It's just basically a mozzarella ball, some basil, a mini tomato, and then I put a little bit of olive oil and salt in here. And specifically let it marinate in my fridge overnight, because then it really gets nice and it just.
I love the different colored tomatoes too. That's
Yeah.
just like so summery.
And these are very delicious little tomatoes. All right, now we're gonna move on to
That's not
the
all there
main
is?
course. No, that's not all there is.
Okay.
So, are you thinking that I probably whipped up some like beautiful fried chicken or something really amazing for our
Probably.
main course? No.
Okay.
What I have for you, Peggy, today is cold
Sure it's
pizza.
right. Okay.
Because people actually do like to eat cold pizza. So I made these pizzas. I made a like a meat combo and then a margarita pizza. I just popped them in my oven and made them and then brought them along because that is a typical thing that people eat. But
Finger food.
yep, finger food. But I have another tip for you.
Yeah?
My aunt taught me this. You can actually, typically, if you find a pizza place by where you are picnicking, have them deliver pizza right to you. So you just bring the apps and like snackies, and then the main course is delivered when you want it to be. And you could order pizza at your house if you wanted to.
Everybody
and have
loves
it.
pizza.
Everybody loves pizza. I went away from the coleslaw and the potato salad. I did, however, have to make these deviled eggs because who doesn't love a
Wow.
deviled egg? And one thing I do to my deviled eggs that's a little bit different is I add bacon pieces
Oh.
to it.
Come on. It's like gilding the lily.
And then also a little pickle, which is a little
Yeah,
bit different.
yum.
So,
And if it's stacked in there, it won't shake around or
Right.
they won't. Yeah.
because all
that's
of my
great.
containers just
Okay.
fit right on
Yep.
top of each other.
Great.
Another thing people would think of serving warm is potatoes, but I simply roasted these potatoes just with a little bit of coconut oil and sea salt, and then these make great little snacks even when they're cold.
Dippers.
Yep.
Great idea.
Potatoes
Love
are another fun snack and something different, I think,
Yeah,
on a
totally.
picnic. This salad also, I always have to have a salad with something. This was a little bit more laborious to make, but it's a roasted corn, chickpea, cucumber with peppers and feta cheese.
Oh, yeah.
So you always have
Thank
to have
you for bringing that.
Yeah. Are you hungry, Peggy?
Yeah, it looks
I can
great.
smell-
Now I am.
actually can smell it. It smells really good. So we want to have a salad, obviously, with our picnic, and then dessert, right?
Okay.
So I found a recipe for these beautiful strawberry handheld pies,
Okay.
and they gave me instructions on how to make the pie crust, and I said, or just buy it, which is what I did, but then made the filling and made these little desserts for
that.
people. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a really nice way
Great idea.
to end your meal. Something like brownie bites would be awesome as well. So all of this food, I think, it's very easy to make, but also a little bit more special, things you wouldn't have every
Totally.
single day.
Yep. Good
is
idea.
fun.
I love it.
I think now it's maybe time to eat.
Yeah, let's do
You
it.
hungry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming up next on the Happy House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff, we are learning how to make our own oversized yard games. I love having family and friends over and playing outdoor games, and recently I have seen some oversized kind of traditional games made for the yard, and I started to look into purchasing some and found out that they are very expensive. I have enlisted the help of my friend Rana to see if we can make some of these games on a budget, and of course you did.
I instantly said yes because some of these, I mean, the first two games that we're going to go over are pennies on the dollar. So you can do it, you can find the products, and it's relatively easy to make.
All right, let's start with what you call yardsy. Well, I said I want giant dice because there is something that I'm going to confess, and people who know me know this about me, but I'm really uncoordinated. So everybody plays this cornhole in these bags and bocce, and I could play that all day and never get a bag in a hole. So I have to depend on luck and just
Pure
luck.
finesse.
Pure finesse, luck.
And if you have a yard with a hill too and they just go a tumbling, it's great fun.
Yeah, so how did you make this?
So what I did is I actually had a leftover piece of 4x4 cedar that was 4 feet long.
Like
But
a
you
deck post? Is that
I
what-
did. I had a leftover deck post. Just a little side note though, if you're purchasing one, get it out of cedar, don't get it out of green treat. You don't want the chemicals getting on your fingers or your children's fingers. So
Good.
that's just a side note. But
Good thought.
out of cedar. And at the home improvement store, they made the cuts for me at 3.5 inches. And at 3.5, they turn out perfectly cubical.
And then you were telling me that you did actually drill holes and paint in there, but that was challenging. So maybe just painting the
Yeah,
dots on is best.
Unless we can find an easier way to drill them in there. I tried several different spades and drill bits, and it was very tricky, and I'm pretty used to handling tools. So, not saying you can't do it. If you're gonna do it, just take your time and don't get frustrated.
And that's a lot of drilling, whereas I think just painting would be easier.
Painty,
Super
Sharpie.
fun. And then you laminated these sheets so you can use just a dry erase marker on it to keep score. And I love the idea for just having this paint bucket as a storage container.
Absolutely. And if they wanted to, they can put the lid on and shake the whole bucket upside down and go crazy, or just barely.
Yep. So then we've got here a gigantic Jenga type game.
Yes, and this one was really inexpensive too. I mean, this one I used 6 2x4s, and they're about $3 to $4 a piece.
6 times 4,
There's
$24.
Yeah. You need 54 pieces. So I made each 2x4 10.5 inches long. The math works. You can just trust me on it. They line up pretty well.
Perfect.
And the store, if you go late night, right before closing, not 5 minutes before closing, but like later in the evening when it's slowed
like
down.
Like a downtime at the hardware store. They'll cut either your local hardware store or one of the big box retailers. They will do cuts. And a lot of times they'll do first 6 cuts for free and then maybe charge you 50 cents, but still you are only paying. I've investigated these games and they're a lot more expensive than that.
Yeah, and then once they cut them, the edges, just these edges right here, are a little rough, and you can go ahead and sand them, but really, if you're not really that handy, don't worry about it. Leave them as it is, and I wouldn't paint them, I wouldn't poly them. They might get sticky in the hot sun when you're trying to slide them in and out.
Just leave it raw. I love it. All right, this is my favorite.
Is it?
I had seen at my local co-op actually some really beautiful oversized cribbage boards that I think are for indoor use, but I thought, how fun would it be to have a gigantic cribbage board for your yard? So I, of course, called you.
You did, and the only little parameter that I had was big cribbage board, and in my head I'm like 4x8 sheet. Does she want 5 feet? And so and I saw these crates. They're all over the place. In the raw form, they look. Do you want me to pick it up?
Yeah, let's see.
In the raw form, they look like this.
Again, at like a big box hardware store. Is that where this is from?
Even the art stores are carrying them. Even some of the red stores are carrying them, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep. And this was $9.99.
$9.99. The box stores also carry legs if you want to make it a table, so you can have like a coffee table. It's functional.
I love this. And you took these legs off of an old piece of furniture that was going to be thrown away.
Yes, I did.
It's all about repurposing.
And I held on to them. But if you don't have legs, go buy legs. They're about $15 a piece. The crates are $10 a piece. The top is a piece of plywood that in its raw form looks like this.
Again, cut down at the store?
Yeah, they cut it. And one episode we made a small kitchen, and this was just leftover material that we had, and I brought it in after the fact a day later, and they actually cut it for me
just like you wanted.
Just like I wanted.
I'm guessing one of the most challenging parts of this project is drilling the holes. So you looked at a cribbage board and sort of guesstimated, or how did you do this?
You know what? This made it very simple. This is 36 inches long. A cribbage board, not that you want to know all the technicals, but a cribbage board has 120 holes plus the start hole.
Okay.
So each leg is 30 holes.
Mm-hmm.
This is 36 inches long. All I did is I put an inch in between each hole, and then at the sets of 5, I made it an each inch and a half.
Perfect.
So just draw your straight line on, go down an inch, an inch, an inch, an inch.
That's
drill
awesome.
your holes.
Awesome. And then this has storage for our Jenga if we want to. Or other kinds of decks,
or
of
the
cards,
dice,
or dice, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on top. Oh, that is so cute, Rana.
Thank you.
Rana, originally when I was talking to you about this project, I sort of thought we would use like dowels and have to cut those down for the holes, but you of course have outsmarted me, girl. And use golf tees. That is pure genius for our cribbage board.
I thought about dowels too, 2 as well.
But after you drill 120 holes, you
Right.
don't want to cut.
And I didn't have it. I didn't have them, but I had golf tees. So there you go.
That is easy breezy. I love it, and easily replaced. Like, do you ever have a critter
Right.
tour where you lose a piece of it?
Or it gets stuck in the thing. Yeah.
I love all these projects. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's get this party started.
All right, I'm ready.
Coming up next on the Happy House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff, we are in the backyard doing some explosive science. We're in the backyard on a beautiful summer day, and it's the perfect day for doing some science.
It's a great day for doing science, and I love doing science outside.
I do too. Liz, thank you for joining us. I'm really excited. Chandler and I have your previous book, Kitchen Science Lab for Kids, and we love it.
Yay.
But then this new book came out, Outdoor Science Lab for Kids, and it is full of so many great ideas. And what I love about this, it makes science accessible for families and really easy to do. And I think that's a huge thing.
Science should be affordable and accessible and fun, most of all, right, guys? Science should be fun. So
We have our junior scientists with us, and what are we going to do today?
today we are going to make volcanoes. Have you guys ever made a volcano before? No? Volcanoes, the kind we're going to make, are chemical reactions you can do with chemicals you have in your kitchen. Do you guys have vinegar in your kitchen? Does it taste sweet or sour? Sour, right? Can you guys say acetic
Acetic
acid?
acid.
Acetic acid.
Acetic acid.
That's the science word for vinegar. Now, vinegar is a mild acid, which is why it tastes sour, kind of like citric acid, which is in lemons, right? So that is the first ingredient in our chemical reaction. The second ingredient in our chemical reaction is baking soda. Do you guys have some baking soda down there? Can you show me where it is? Can you say sodium
Sodium
bicarbonate?
bicarbonate.
Sodium bicarbonate.
Sodium bicarbonate.
Nice. So sodium bicarbonate is the second ingredient in our chemical reaction. Now, who knows what a chemical reaction is? Anyone? Raise your hand if you know what a chemical reaction is. Does it sound hard?
Oh, I think I know.
What do you think it is?
It blows up.
Something can blow up.
That's the reaction to a chemical reaction,
That is
right?
the reaction to a chemical reaction.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you combine two things, they blow up. But all a chemical reaction is when you combine two or more things and you make something new. So the new thing we make when we combine baking soda and vinegar together is we make carbon dioxide gas. Can you say carbon
Carbon
dioxide?
dioxide.
Yes, carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide.
Very good. Who wants to make a volcano?
Me.
All right.
I want to be part. Can I be part of this too?
I suppose, Happy, yes.
all right,
Okay,
good.
so do you need test tubes to do science or fancy equipment? No.
No.
What do we have in front of you there?
Water.
Empty water bottles, right?
Recycled water
Recycled
bottles, yeah.
water bottles. And I have filled them up most of the way with vinegar. We're gonna combine our stuff, but first we wanna make our vinegar be our lava. So I think lava should have a color. What color is lava in real volcanoes?
Red.
Red or yellow, right? And when it cools, what color is it? Black. It can. Right?
Is it gray or black?
It can be gray or black, yes. Okay, so everyone has some food coloring. Put a few drops of food coloring into your vinegar. Around a half a cup of vinegar works well in these little bottles. I see that one of them there is almost completely full. I must not have really been measuring, but
It's
it'll
gonna be exciting.
We'll see what happens. That's what science all about. Now everyone has a little paper cup. Go ahead and fill your little paper cup up with baking soda.
So it's probably like a half cup of baking soda that we're using.
Yeah, fourth to half a cup.
Okay.
Probably more than we need, but
Yes.
it's science. We're doing it outside. We can get messy out here,
We
right?
like a good reaction.
All right, is everyone ready? And we've sort of pinched one end of the paper cup into a little pouring spout. Do you guys know what these are?
No. No.
They are coffee filters. So everyone pick up your coffee filter.
Mine is raw.
Yep,
That's
it's
exactly
on
how it should
purpose.
be.
I actually tore off the small end, and you can put the cones over your volcanoes.
So we're making our volcanoes look like volcanoes,
Yep.
basically.
Do they look more like real volcanoes now?
Yeah.
You can use markers to color these, which is kind of fun. You can color them to look like volcanoes. Now I'm gonna have all of you get on your knees and kind of sit back a little bit because I don't want you to get wet if these go further than I think. But make sure you can still reach your volcano. On the count of 3, you are gonna dump your baking soda down into your volcano and then move the cup away. You don't have to pour all of it in. You're just gonna kind of shake it down in there.
All right, so pour it in fast,
On the count
you
of 3,
guys.
1, 2, 3, pour it in really fast, all at once. Now stand back.
Woo!
Oh my gosh, you guys, what do you think?
I love it.
They're so fun.
Whoa, yours is pouring in a lot.
Wow, that's amazing. What do you think would happen if we dumped a little more vinegar into them?
Yeah.
Should we see? Let's just try it, okay? So when you're doing science outside, you can also,
Woo!
oh, so most of the baking soda is on the ground.
Can we do more? Can we do more baking soda?
Yep, if you have any more baking soda, you can dump it in and see what happens.
That.
Can I put more in?
Yep,
Look at
go
this
ahead.
guy.
Oh, nice. Pour some more
Hey, kids, who had fun today learning about science?
Me.
Yeah. It's not just all about books. It's about getting out there and making it happen. And these things, it's vinegar, baking soda, food coloring, and things we just have in our own kitchen.
in. Yeah, and it's so great to do science at home because there are no time limits, no grades. You know,
Yep.
your friends aren't watching you, so you can just try whatever you want.
I love it. Hey, you guys, what do you say to Liz for bringing us this experiment?
You're welcome. You guys are good scientists. Oh, look at that one go. Nice.
Thanks, Liz. Let's do it again.
Thanks, Happy. Super fun.